We're talking today with Agriculture Chair Representative Richard Heath from Kentucky's General Assembly. Representative Heath represents District 2 in Kentucky, which is Graves and McCracken County. Good day to you, sir, and we hope you and your family and everybody in Western Kentucky are staying safe and healthy.
Well, good day, yeah, and as a matter of fact, we are. So far, so good.
Good. We are an agriculture society in so many parts of the state, people depending on our livestock, our resources. So it certainly still does have both a financial and economic and personal impact for a lot of people, our agriculture farms here in the state.
Yes, exactly. When you combine all of agriculture sales across the state with the commodity groups, the corn, soybeans, wheat, small grain, cattle, hogs, poultry, it's in the billions of dollars. If you combine it, largest industry in the state.
A lot of meat processing plants we are hearing are closing across the country because of COVID-19. And is that the case here in Kentucky with some plants in our state?
As of today, there are no plant closing in the state of Kentucky. Some of the plants are scaling back production, but they're still open and operating at this time.
What does it mean for people with other processing plants closing across the country, meaning for people who are wanting to go to the grocery stores right now and buy meats? Are there anything that they need to be aware of, shortages of meats? Or Commissioner Ryan Quarles, Kentucky's Ag Commissioner, released a statement earlier this week that said you might still find your meat, just not the particular cut of meat that you want right now.
Correct. As you know, when you take a livestock, and whether it's a cow or pig or chicken or whatever, and cut it up and section it out into certain meats, then supply and demand, the better cuts are going to go first. So when you get to the store to buy your meat, some of the good cuts may already be gone. There'll still be meat there. It just may not be what you're looking for. And that's because of the plant closing and also the scaling back of the processing of livestock. The problem that the state of Kentucky is running into, the plants are still open, but they're having trouble with people not showing up for work because they've either been tested positive for the virus, or they're afraid they're going to get the virus, or some of them, to be quite honest with you, would rather stay at home and draw an unemployment check than to go into work. So the meat processors are facing several challenges right now.
Have there been any talks, Representative Heath, in Kentucky about maybe for our here in the state meat processing plant workers getting more testing for COVID-19, any personal protective equipment giving to them to keep these plants open?
I know Commissioner Quarles has reached out to the governor and made a request to have additional protective equipment for the workers in these plants, in these processing plants, and for additional testing. And then also another issue is child care for these individuals that need to come into work, and daycare centers are closed. So it's going to have to be a holistic approach with providing the PPE and the testing and child care and getting the healthy people where they can show up for work.
Another note that was also mentioned in Commissioner Ryan Quarles' release statement earlier this week, that there is a potential possibility, we certainly hope not, of some depopulation of livestock herds here in Kentucky on agriculture farms. And again, we hope that's not the case. Do you foresee that being a possibility?
I would say the possibility exists. I know the processors are working diligently to not let that happen. With poultry, I know they are setting fewer eggs to hatch chickens, so they're scaling back. In the state of Kentucky, we currently process about 5 million birds a week, and they're scaling back on production to reduce that down to between 3.5 and 4 million, so that they can continue to process the birds that are brought to market with a reduced workforce. Swine processing in the Louisville plant has been reduced from roughly 10,500 head a day to around 9,000 head per day. As of now, they're still able to process the animals that are coming to market, but we need to keep our workers healthy, and They need to be showing up for work to make all this happen.
Representative Heath, what are your thoughts on the reopening of businesses here in Kentucky? Governor Andy Beshear has released a plan about phases of opening certain types of businesses at certain times. What are, again, all because of the COVID-19 outbreak. What are your thoughts on that, of the reopening of businesses here in Kentucky?
I support the governor's plan to reopen businesses. Just this week, as you know, chiropractors have been able to go back to work, dentists, and some of the needed medical procedures, so eye doctors. So I support that. I think the time has come where we need to start phasing back in. Of course, even going on down the line, something as simple as hairdressers and barber shops. You know, people see that at some point. We need a haircut. We need our hair fixed. So I do support that. And we need to get healthy people back at work. If we continue to play it safe and use the methods outlined by the governor, I support Kentucky getting back to work.
From your perspective as a legislator, we've been talking with several of your colleagues over the past few weeks, asking the same question from your vantage point as a Kentucky legislator. What are your thoughts about the economic impact that closing the small businesses and even larger businesses in Kentucky over the past couple of months will have on our state in months to come?
Well, I saw a press release this morning stating that the revenues for the state of Kentucky could be down as much as $500 million. This was coming from the state budget director's office, and $500 million is a huge hit to our budget. I know when we were in session, we prepared a one-year budget because we just couldn't. It was too early in the process to tell what was going to happen to revenues. We knew they were going to be off. We just couldn't predict how much they were going to be off. So this is the first report I've seen that actually said, you know, we could be looking at a $500 million shortfall. So that's huge. That's a huge hit. It's going to be hard to fund everything that our state needs to fund, and without those revenues. I mean, you're looking at the pension issue that we have in front of us, and just day-to-day government operation. We're going to get people back to work and get the revenue stream going again.
The Kentucky General Assembly is currently not in session. You've ended your session for the regular session for 2020. Representative Heath, do you foresee the governor calling a special session, having you all come back to Frankfort to talk about the economic situation that the state will be in for the rest of the year?
That's possible. We had some of those conversations before we left at the end of the session, that because of all the unknowns, being able to predict what our revenues would be and what other changes might need to take place, the governor could call us back into session just to address some budget issues that we didn't have a good grasp on when we were in session. So, yeah, I think that's possible.
Representative Richard Heath, Agriculture Chair for the Kentucky General Assembly, representing District 2, thank you for taking the time to call into our stations this morning, and we may be talking with you in the weeks ahead, and thank you for your time, and you all stay safe and healthy.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.